day for you. You're looking great out there. Powerful, crisp, all of it. Right? You getting out of these funky positions, especially in the finals there. It seemed like you had a nice battle position on the Take me through the finals. How do you talk about that?
Yeah, so I kind of started off a little slower than I expected to. I think going into the second period it was 1-0, and then my coach Connell just reminded me, he's like, we got to get to our attacks. We got to put it on them, and I was like, it's now or never. And I think my mindset from trials to now has changed a lot, just because all my coaches at Iowa, Coach Morningstar and Coach Brands and Dennis, they remind me that matches can be a coin flip, and simply what that means is that it can't be a heads or tails decision. It can't just be a decision that's just made. I have to be the one who controls the outcome of every single match that I compete in every time I step on the line. So that second period, that's what I did. I went out there, I got to my scores. I'm actually a lot more of a funky guy than a lot of people probably think. I just love to figure out positions and wrestle through them, and I think that second period showed a lot of what I could do, and I think that was really cool for me to be able to do it and put it on the big stage and succeed and come out on top of it and end up getting a tech fall. I think it was something tech pin or whatever. So it was just a good confidence boost for me going into this next leg of my journey, and it was just really good to end on a high note this summer. So I'm super excited for that.
Why do you think is there like a mental block or something there where you have that on the mat, within the room?
Absolutely. I think I've always had a mental block, just trusting my abilities and my attacks, and I really don't know where it came from. It was just one of those things that just built up over time. The better I got, I'm like, all right, the less attacks I have to take, which is completely the opposite, So I think for me going into this, my freshman year of college at the University of Iowa, that's going to be the main goal. And my coaches there, and my coaches, everyone that I've gotten a chance to encounter with, and they've gotten to coach me or whatever the case may be, they've reminded me that, I have some of the best offense in the world, and I truly believe that. It's just a matter of actually believing it and doing it. And so that's kind of just been our thing back at Iowa, just pummeling that fact, you have some great offense, Gabe Arnold. Tom Brands reminds me of that. Terry Brands reminds me of that. Ryan Morningstar reminds me of that. Dan Dennis reminds me of that. It's just that continuous, that confirmation that, I have some of the best offense in the world. And when I go, and I'm able to put guys on the mat. I'm able to get guys out of here. I'm able to put 20, 30, 50, 40, whatever the case may be, that many points on the board. So, that's all what I'm about going into my freshman year this year, and that's kind of the plan and the goal right now. So,
outside of winning the gold medal, what's been your favorite part about this trip?
Just honestly getting the bond with the guys. The FCA kind of like chaplain here, Tim Hess, he talked about L.E.O, which is, which basically it means love each other. And I think in such a short time, I've obviously had bonds with guys on the team like Jack Dara. Me and him went to high school together. Me and Luke went to high school together. Me and Nick Bazalkas went to high school together. Me and Bradley go to the same college now, and spent almost a year together up in Iowa City. So I think, that little acronym L.E.O, I think in such a short time I've gotten to grow really close to these guys and, really love them, I think, and I think us going to war for each other and cheering for each other in the back room, it really showed that acronym L.E.O, love each other. And, I think that's really been the coolest thing for me, is being able to bond with these guys in such a short amount of time. Even with the coaches, Coach Futrell has been great. I've loved having him. He's just a super up guy. He's hard to be down around, even when, like, let's say I was cutting weight and everything was sucking, or just wrestling on the mat, whatever the case may be. He's just a great guy to be around because his energy is always high. So I think that's really just been my favorite part of this trip. Besides winning, of course, is just the three-letter acronym L.E.O, and that's loving each other, and that's what this team has been able to create in such a short amount of time. So,
just hanging around you, my first time hanging around you, seeing you interact with everyone, you seem like you have a lot of fun and you really enjoy what you're doing and try to live life, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that you bring to the table, you want to bring to the table?
It's something I try my damnedest to bring to the table. My dad always reminds me that the second the sport stops becoming fun, that's the day I take my shoes off and I'm done with it, and when I first started wrestling, my dad pummeled that into my brain, he's like, this is fun, and when stops becoming fun, he's like, there's no reason to do it anymore. So doing this just just reminding myself of that, and just reminding of that simple concept of having fun. You know, that's what's been pushing me to new heights. And I think at points in my wrestling and points in my career, I've kind of forgot about that, and it became a job for me. And it's just been really, it's sometimes really hard to remind myself that, you know, at the end of the day, this is all fun. The hard practices, the tough workouts, you know, the hard positions, all of that, it's all just fun. And so that's what I've really been pummeling just leading up to Pan Ams, is that this is fun. You know, I had a really kind of a hard couple days leading up to the kind of a training cycle leading up into Pan Ams, and you know, in the back of my head, I was just reminding myself, keep a smile on your face. While I'm sitting in the sauna, you know, keep a smile on your face, no matter what it was, you know, just staying positive no matter what. And I think that's what I've really been able to do, and really been pummeling. And I think that's what's going to project me to new heights in my wrestling. You know, I felt really good this tournament, and I was having a lot of fun. I was really free, really out there, really open. And I plan on continuing that, like I've said over and over, because that's just something that is really important to me. And as long as I stay free, stay open, stay happy, stay myself, the sky's the limit for me. So, yeah, absolutely.
Anything else in your mind, or anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to all the guys back in Iowa City, the boys, the Iowa Hawkeyes, my team, my family, my brothers, all that. You know, shout out to them. Shout out to the coaches, Tom Brands, Terry Brands, Ryan Morningstar, Dan Dennis, Bobby Telford, the best trainer in the world, Jesse Donenworth. Shout out all those guys. Shout out my parents for making this possible and coming for the trip. You know, Elizabeth and Phil Arnold. You know, they're my biggest support system, and I don't know where I'd be without them. They're just amazing, and I don't think I can ask for a better support system than them. So, you know, those are my shout outs. So yeah,